Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Incubator Podcast. We are live at the CHNC Symposium in Denver, Colorado, and we are wrapping up our coverage with two returning guests, Dr. Kris Reber and Dr. Anthony Piazza. Kris, Anthony, thank you so much for everything. Thank you for hosting us, for putting together this great conference, and it's been a phenomenal experience.
Yeah, we really appreciate y'all
thank you.
being here, and the audience and the registrants just love talking to you.
It's fantastic.
And we've been able to put out a lot of different short segment episodes throughout the past 2 days, and the quality of everybody from speaker to attendees is always mind-blowing. I mean, it is such impressive work that they're doing, and very audacious work as well. They're never afraid to go at the question that you're like, this is ambitious.
Right.
Sure.
Yeah.
And we've been talking, just the two of us, and then offline a little bit with the audience. What a great group you guys have, and I think that speaks to what you guys have really been able to foster. This high-level discussions about very complicated patients, but in a way that is really comfortable and approachable and hands-on, and we always say it has such a good vibe, really.
For sure.
And so I hope people who haven't been to this conference will come in the coming years, because you'll learn a lot and you'll meet a lot of people, lots of opportunities for networking. I think one of the best places for networking.
We were talking off air with Kris about this. We felt very much like the CHNC, for us having been here now 2 years in a row, is that it's more than just a conference. It is a working meeting where people literally sit down and outline the path of potential collaboration, QI work, whatever they're going to do for the coming 12 months or even longer than that. How are you making sure that this sort of DNA remains year over year? Because I think that's always the $1,000 question. Like, how do we remain consistent, especially when it comes to something so evasive?
Well, I think part of it is that so many of these folks meet throughout the year.
That's right.
Yeah.
So we have all of these focus groups. We have our QI group. We have all kinds of interest groups that get together on a regular basis. So this work is ongoing year-round.
Yeah.
So I think that's what makes a difference.
So many were excited to actually be together in person.
Exactly.
Like many of them were like,
Exactly.
we meet virtually on a routine basis, and we're finally, and they're sort of conglomerated together.
Well, we didn't highlight that. I mean, they meet monthly, right?
Or twice a month, or
twice a month.
They're
we're
always
meeting
meeting
very frequently. Incredible.
Yeah,
Incredible.
yeah. And I agree with what Kris said. I mean, we're working all year round, and people are collaborating the whole time, and it's just a nice additional meeting for people to get together and maybe enjoy rather than work a lot of the time.
Yeah.
So
I mean, that's something that we've been very cognizant of, especially as we've dabbled in putting together our own conferences. How do you create a conference where people come in and leave energized and not exhausted? And this is one of these conferences where I think just the stamina of everybody and the enthusiasm carries over and creates momentum for everybody going home saying this is kind of exciting.
Yeah.
So congratulations on that.
Thank you.
Were there some successes you guys wanted to highlight? I know the conference has grown quite a bit. Things that you wanted to do specially this year?
Well, we're excited about the growth of the conference. I think that's fantastic. But the growth, it's grown, but it still feels, and a lot of folks have said this, it still feels like a tight-knit
Personal,
group and a family that's getting together, right? And I think kudos to our neonatology community, right? So I think that's true. I think
that is also a testament to your commitment. I'm going to say this, and to the commitment of your entire team, because despite the conference growing, like you said, we don't really feel it because it's in a similar location. The faces are returning, so we see the same faces, and so it feels like you're going back home almost. So many institutions, groups sometimes have a lot of turnover when it comes to staffing, leadership, but this is a group that is dedicated to the mission of the CHNC, and so it's kind of so nice to see the familiar faces. And so how many people that have we spoken to that we met last year that are here again? So I think that's so good.
yeah, I would say the additional thing from this year is we had more trainees than we've had in the past. And that's part of our mission too, and trying to support them in their academic or professional career and what they, part of it's networking, looking for jobs, opportunity to present their work. So that's one of the things that I enjoy the most and most proud of.
Something that people highlighted a lot were the workshops. I think these were very popular, and the topics that were covered were very compelling. So kudos for that. Any feedback or anything you're looking forward to regarding workshops and that in the future as well?
We do a call for workshops and abstracts, and it's really our people that are putting it in. So.
Right.
It's a selection process, but it's coming from them organically, what they want to do and what they want to see.
And do you have an idea of how many workshops? Because it seems like
there were many.
There were at least 16.
Wow.
I think at least 16.
That sounds right.
We
That
put
sounds
together
right.
3 workshops.
I know, and it was totally overwhelming.
And then we had the 2 pre-symposium
That's
workshops
right.
that were a little bit bigger, the BPD and the renal replacement, which was well received as well.
And we talked earlier to Lomi and Namrita, who were explaining to us that the CHNC is even starting to support its own members in submitting proposals for workshops. And I think that's so cool that this structure is being put in place. That was kind of nice.
And also the collaboration, like you mentioned, with some of the other collaboratives, which I think really helps amplify the, say, pathology-specific work.
We've seen some people from the Small Baby Collaborative, the Kidney Collaborative, the BPD Collaborative.
Yep.
I mean, they're all here as well.
Yeah.
And just to mention more collaboratives with Dr. Raval that was here today, all of a sudden we have a great opportunity to collaborate with him and ensure
surgeons.
Absolutely. Surgeons and some other ologists, endocrinologists, nephrologists. I think that's so important. We cannot, function in isolation. I think there's a lot of value to that.
Yeah.
What do you guys? Oh, go ahead.
No, go. I was going to be very practical about the future, but
That's
go ahead.
what I wanted to say. What are you guys looking forward to after you get to rest a little bit to doing with the next iteration?
So we definitely will get feedback from the attendees. That's really important to us because we want this to continue and grow, and not even necessarily grow, but be valuable to everyone and accomplish what our goals are. So we'll look at our feedback and definitely take all of that very seriously. I think we want to include other disciplines too. Well, and we talked about other physician specialties, but also our nursing teams, our APPs. And so there's a lot of interest in getting our multidisciplinary teams engaged. And we have some of that, but I think we'd like to grow that too because we can't function without all of those teams together.
Yeah, we had a wonderful presentation from a nurse this morning talking about workload and was very impressive. It was very impressive work and important work and trying to.
Heather Tubbs Cooley is the person in question, and then she came afterwards as well, and we talked about staffing and workload, and it was such an enlightening conversation to even think about that. So over 500 attendees this year. I think there probably is going to be a lot of FOMO from the people who haven't been here this year. The people listening are saying, all right, next year I'm definitely marking this on my calendar. Can people still plan to visit the CHNC Symposium October in Colorado, or are you guys thinking of a changing of location? Can you share more information about that?
Yeah, I think for the next 2 years, at least next year and probably 2006, we'll be here.
Yeah.
It's going to be a little bit later in the year.
10th through 12th?
Yeah, November.
November.
So it's a little bit later, hopefully not too cold. But yeah, we'll be here for the next 2 years. Yeah.
So that's very exciting. So fall, beginning of winter, like November, just
beginning of November.
Make some room, be flexible. 2025 and 2026, Denver, Colorado, CHNC Symposium, something to definitely mark your calendars, and definitely marked our calendars as well. So thank you again so much for hosting us, and thank you for putting together such a great conference. Everything is available on the CHNC website. It's quite an amazing website with lots of information about every single focus group that we've interviewed, with a lot of information.
And to join their meetings.
To have their schedule. So we're going to direct people to the CHNC website.
And the focus groups are always increasing. There's every month we hear about a new interest, and
that's what we were saying. We have the over digital health group, and we're like,
informatics just popped up.
Yeah,
that's right.
just the other day, and we're like, oh,
and it's so funny to see how they're coming up, and then right away they're connecting with the other established focus groups and becoming a value add for them as well.
Absolutely.
So that's a lot of fun. So congratulations.
Nothing's in isolation. It's all
connected.
It's all connected
For sure. Anthony, Kris, thank you so much.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right.